Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks Part 2. I stated in that video that I was going to leave a link, but I can't find it. I don't know if I even made a video on how to draw. This is a 2-layer one that I made a bunch of these this season for nieces and nephews and grandkids and great-grandkids, and well, not mine, but I guess you'd call them grand nieces and nephews. But I really like the way this looks over this style. I just think it adds so much to it. So we're just going to start with our 3.6 or 3.56 circle, 3.56. And we're going to hit P to put it in the center of the page, and then we're going to nudge it over. So what we're going to do, and there's probably 5 different ways you could draw this, but I mean, the recent ones I've done a little bit different. I kind of made an oval to put a ribbon through, and this one wasn't as strong as, I mean, this is plenty strong. This is 1/8 inch plywood, and there's enough wood there to do that. But what I did, and you know what, I am going to draw in the center of the page now, and I'm going to hit P because this is pretty important. And I'm going to take my rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. And then I'm going to select a mode, then I'm going to go top, put it to the top of the page. Now, and I think that rectangle is about the right size. It's, less than 1/2 inch. But for right now, we're going to make it 4.4 inches. But we want it to the top, so I'm going to set my nudge factor on 0.4, and we're going to nudge that to the top, or relatively close. We actually want it down a little bit. But now we need to take this thing and convert it to a curve so we can grab the nodes. And I'm going to set my nudge factor on like 0.1 and see what happens. So I'm going to grab this node, and I'm going to move it out. That's perfect. Grab that one, move it out. So I'm getting a kind of a conical shape, as you see. And you could go a little bit more, a little bit less. We're going to put a circle on top of this, so it doesn't really matter. And then, I mean, like I said earlier, there's probably 10 different ways you could draw this. So I'm going to draw these 2 lines, and I'm going to select them, which might, well, you know what? Let me set my nudge factor on like 2 inches. And let me nudge this up and out of the way, so I just have those 2. I am going to go to Effects and Blend, and I'm going to blend them, let's say 4 times. That's almost perfect. Now I'm going to go up to Object and break the blend apart, and I'm going to get rid of these lines. Now I'm going to take these lines, and I'm going to make them something bigger than a hairline. That might work. I'm going to go a little thinner. And then I'm going to go to Object, and I need to select, what I need to do is ungroup them. Whenever you blend, you put them in a group. But I can select them all now and go to Object and convert the outline to an object, and then I'm going to left click, right click. And I'm actually going to do it in red and make sure it's a hairline. Now I can bring my box back in, and that's pretty good because the outer part will be a lot stronger. I probably need to, let me see my nudge factor on like 0.02, and I want to nudge this down to where I get at least that like that. Now, there's plenty of ways you could do this. We don't want these to go all the way to the top, and I could have done this totally different. But I'll tell you what, if we grab them all with the Shift tool, and like I said, there's a lot of different ways you could do this. Because we don't want them to the top. We want some strength. Now, we could try welding this, and it didn't work. So the best thing I do, and because by the time you figure out which one to do, you could just have it done. And I think I'm doing right. And then we need to get rid of that little bit, because we want those boxes. And when we use the Smart Fill tool in a second, okay, here's a good lesson. See the lines are on the inside? I don't care. That I don't like. I should have done a little better job there, so I'm just going to bring that down. We can actually cut that off. Whenever you make a mistake, just correct it. Now, Smart Fill tool. And what the Smart Fill tool is going to do is going to give us a new shape, and everything's going to be solid, and then we're going to left click, right click. Now, we still have to put a ring. See, that's what the Smart Fill did. Now, I'm in the center of the page now, but I'm not really in the center because this is taller. But now I'm just going to take an oval. I think an oval is a little bit better than a circle, because you could put a ribbon through there, whoever you're giving it to. That's about the right size. Let's play around with this a little bit and go to effects and contour. We're going to contour the inside, let's say 0.1. That's too much. Let's go 0.05. Hit apply, because I want a perfect copy of that. And that's pretty good. Now I need to take it all and go to object and break the contour apart. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to eyeball it. I could bring in an indexing line and hit P, because it's still going to be in the center of the page this way. So that means my blend's off a little bit, or the whole thing's off a little bit. But then I could kind of eyeball this. Okay, I broke them apart. I need to grab them both. And then I want to sink it down in there some. Doesn't have to be ultra strong, because you're going to have a lot of wood. And then just take your virtual segment delete key and delete these lines, and see how the indexing line stopped it from moving. Now, one more little trick. Take the Smart Fill tool on any color and fill it in. That gives you a solid. What the Smart Fill tool does is makes a new object. That's pretty sweet. It might be a little bit weak. You might want to play around with that, but I really think it's pretty strong. And you could do many things from here. This might not even be a bad idea. Go from that point to that point, and that point to that point, and actually take away these lines. And I don't like it. I like the original first, because it looks like a real Christmas ball holder. Now, if we just kind of move this over, that's what it's going to look like. Of course, you're going to move it over more. And whenever you're trying to move something like that, have your nudge factor set low. Roy Brewer, my main mentor for years, I've had mine set on 0.001 because of him. So I'm going to go 0.01, and actually 0.001, because I want just a minute, and then you take that over the laser, and you can do a combination job where you vector engrave, or raster engrave, and then vector the cutout, and I think you'll be extremely happy. Anyway, I hope that helped somebody a little bit. Thank you for watching.